She glared fiercely at her daughter on the sofa, determined to destroy this arranged marriage. Just a few days ago at her daughter's engagement party, she was the happiest person there. Believe me, this is definitely a mother who loves her daughter. Her name is Delia, a housewife who every morning as soon as she opens her eyes has to prepare breakfast for a family of 6. 2 sons are in school, her father-in-law is bedridden, and her husband either does nothing at home or beats her violently. Only her daughter, who was forced to drop out of school to help support the family, would lend a hand with the housework. But she has no time to complain, as Delia has to work 4 jobs. Her married life is exactly what her daughter despises most. She doesn't want to end up like her mother, hair messy, spinning around the kitchen all day with no beautiful clothes to wear. She doesn't want to live with a violent father, a grandfather who only knows how to scold, and mischievous younger brothers. So she pins her hopes on love. Her boyfriend comes from a wealthy family and seems gentle in temperament. Delia thought the same at first, until she saw how the young couple interacted, which looked far too much like her own past. When the son-in-law showed affection by wiping off her daughter's lipstick, calling it love, it was exactly like her husband in his younger days. So she blew up her son-in-law's cafe. Her money-loving husband immediately opposed the marriage. Because of instinct, because of even the slightest possibility, he wanted to ruin his daughter's future. Was that really necessary? You must understand, this mother and daughter's story takes place in 1946 Italy, at a time when Italian law explicitly prohibited divorce. Once a woman married, she could not separate, could not keep her own property. If she ran away, she could not find work, and she faced the risk of being beaten or even killed by her husband, who would likely go unpunished. Even if a couple loved each other and were well off, could the daughter truly be guaranteed happiness? Delia had seen the wives of wealthy families. They were exquisitely dressed, but like her, they stood silently by the dining table, ordered to keep quiet, outsiders in both family and society. So Delia was not dissatisfied with her daughter's marriage itself. She was simply too afraid to take the risk. She didn't want her daughter's life to be set in stone. She wanted her daughter to have choices. So she gave her daughter the money meant for a wedding dress, and used it instead to send her back to school. Sending her daughter to school was not the coolest thing Delia did. On one beautiful weekend, despite her husband's furious protests, she went to the polling station and cast her vote for the fate of the nation. On June 2nd and 3rd, 1946, during Italy's national referendum, out of 25 million voters, 18 million chose to end the Savoy monarchy's rule and embrace a republic that offered more rights to the people. Among them were 13 million women voters. 28 years later, another referendum would pass Italy's divorce law, hugely important for women's freedom. This too was a mother's most precious gift to her daughter. She wanted her daughter, and all women, to know how invaluable it is to have the freedom to choose their own path. She also wanted us to understand that rights are not something we are born with. They are won through effort and struggle. So never give up the right to exercise your rights. Never be easily satisfied. Learn to notice, to speak up, to fight for it. Because once the seed of self is planted, no hardship or obstacle can stop us from reaching tomorrow.